Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to wherever you are in the world. Tyson Fury is making a comeback. And I'm not surprised. I think we all knew at some point in time the old Gypsy King would be returning. There's just so much money out there. It only makes sense for these guys while they still have it to go out there, man, and make some money. Plus, I do believe that there's some kind of, let me turn this fan off, man. I do believe there's some kind of agreement between Tyson Fury, Turki Al-Sheikh, where maybe there's an obligation, but also at the same time, the money aspect. Now, for those people who don't know who I'm talking about when it comes to Tyson Fury, well, let me show you who the old Gypsy King is. Now that's him, Tyson Luck-E Fury. 34 wins, 24 knockouts. Make this a little bit larger, right? And make it a little bigger than that. That's not enough, is it? Okay. Here we go. So Tyson Fury, 34 wins, 24 knockouts. He only has 2 losses. Those 2 losses are by the hands of Oleksandr Usyk. Many people felt he lost a fight with yours truly, Deontay Wilder, in the first fight, but it is what it is. 70% KO ratio, 6'9", 85-inch reach. He's a bad boy. Now, word on the street is Tyson Fury could be fighting this guy, Arslanbek Makhmudov. 21 wins, 19 KOs. He has 2 losses, and both of those losses were by KO. He's a 6'5.5". I mean, when you see him standing next to Tyson Fury, there's not that much of a difference because Tyson Fury's kind of hunched over a bit. But there's some power with Makhmudov. But as far as skill for skill, he can't match Tyson Fury. But will it be an interesting fight? Yeah, it's a good fight for Tyson Fury to knock the rust off. But at the same time, if Tyson Fury doesn't take this fight serious, kind of like with Ngannou, Ngannou was able to drop Tyson Fury. Makhmudov could, in them first 4 rounds, he could badly hurt him, and Tyson Fury may not get out of there. We got to keep in mind, Tyson Fury has been in a lot of battles, man. Those 3 with Deontay Wilder, in particular, that last one, boy, was something brutal. And he had 2 really difficult fights with Usyk. But the bottom line is, Arslanbek Makhmudov has his confidence. He has a new coach. He's been working on boxing, and I just think it's a long shot for him to win this fight, man. But if he, in the first 4 rounds, maybe he has a chance. But I just can't see him winning. But this is what's so interesting, right? Now check this out. If Tyson Fury beats Makhmudov, okay, the next fight that's supposed to happen for Tyson Fury, what's been speculated, is for Tyson Fury to get past this guy Makhmudov and then go on and fight Anthony Joshua. Now, I don't even like talking about what Anthony Joshua experienced recently because that stuff messes with me personally. But it does look like Anthony Joshua with 29 wins, 26 KOs, 4 losses, 2 of those losses by KO. It does look like he may continue fighting. I did see a clip of AJ kind of going through the motions, doing a little bit of pad work. But we just don't know. And whatever Anthony Joshua chooses to do, got to respect that, got to appreciate that. But what could happen is Fury clips Makhmudov, and then all of a sudden, you get the Fury AJ announcement. Because that's what it was supposed to be. But then, the unfortunate circumstances with what AJ's going through. But let's add another twist to all this, okay? Then you got this guy who's still floating around, Deontay Wilder. Now, 44 wins, 43 of those wins by knockout. He has 4 losses, 3 of the 4 by KO. Another guy, they got him listed here at 6'6". He's 6'7", 83-inch reach. Deontay Wilder is a problem. He's supposed to be fighting Derek Chisora. Now, what makes this interesting is if he beats Chisora, which I'm going to tell you, I think that's a 50-50 fight. I don't think he gets in there and tranquilizes him. Is Chisora there to be hit? I mean, kind of. Because he has that herky-jerky, kind of Joe Frazier style. If Wilder can't pull the trigger, Chisora will get on him and maul him and make the fight ugly and grind Deontay Wilder down. And he may knock Deontay Wilder out. Deontay Wilder is a fighter, man. You got to appreciate guys like Deontay Wilder. Forget what you think about him outside the ring, which I don't see how anybody can really dislike him, but I get it. It's social media. People talk shit. People make jokes. I understand. But when it comes to him as a fighter, the man has done nothing but get in the ring and fight. And if you don't respect his win record of 44 wins, 43 of those wins by KO, you want to question his opponents, okay. I don't do that, but I understand. I don't agree. But you can't question his heart. What that man put himself through in that second Fury fight where Mark Breland threw the towel in, Wilder would have continued. And in that third Tyson Fury fight, something amazing to see them two. It was basically see who's going to be the last man standing. I know kid in the field that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder both are ready. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I think they both are ready to die. You always hear fighters talking about going out on their shields. Blood and Gut Warriors or Turo Gotti style. Like, yo, them cats, they were really like, yo, you just got to kill me, man. And especially Deontay Wilder, he was fighting with a different purpose. And you can see it. But the bottom line is now, if Wilder gets past Chisora, which some people feel he will, I think it's 50-50. But let's just, for conversation's sake, he gets past Chisora. Then Deontay Wilder is supposed to go and fight this guy. Now, to that I say, in the most respectful way, for any and everybody who follows boxing to hold their horses and stop taking it to the stupid, man. Oleksandr Usyk is no joke. We all know that. If you weren't a believer in the Ukrainian, then you should be now. The business he did to everybody, his whole career. But let's just talk about when he went up to heavyweight. Let's move down a little bit, because he's had so many fights at heavyweight now that some people have forgotten. All right, it all started, in my opinion, where his name really got put on the map for most boxing fans when he fought Bellew. He fought him at cruiserweight. He was able to knock him out. Then he fought Chaz Witherspoon at heavyweight, was able to stop him. Then he went on and fought Derek Chisora, got a unanimous decision, and what Usyk described as the most difficult fight that he's ever faced. The most difficult fighter that he's ever faced. After he got in there with Chisora, he went on to fight Anthony Joshua twice. Got unanimous decision the first time, split decision the second time. After that, he fought Daniel Dubois in a fight where a lot of us felt like Daniel Dubois hit him with a clean body shot, and Dubois deserved the victory. But what we saw happen is Usyk fell on the ground, started rolling around like someone threw gas and lit a flame to him. And he took, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7 minutes for him to recoup. But nonetheless, he came back and stopped Dubois and had people wondering about where Daniel Dubois was mentally. So anyway, he gets beyond that, locks in the Tyson Fury fight, does the business to Tyson Fury, hurts him badly in that first fight. Matter of fact, they should have stopped it. He should have had a knockout. But it is what it is. Then he came back and fought Tyson Fury again. Competitive fight. He won again, unanimous decision. But at the end of the day, Oleksandr Usyk has been putting in the work. Then he came and fought Daniel Dubois in the rematch. And, it was pretty violent. I thought Daniel Dubois was going to beat him because Daniel Dubois had improved, would fight dirty as a heavy hitter, and I just thought he was younger. And Dubois was going to bring the kind of intensity that would get him a victory. Anyway, not really how all that happened. But I say all that to say this. How interesting it would be, right? Let me go back here and show you something. How interesting it would be if this guy, Deontay Wilder, beats Chisora, gets the Usyk fight, and beats Oleksandr Usyk. Let me tell you, Deontay Wilder, that would be probably the greatest, because I'm trying to think, I'm not a boxing historian. I just like boxing, right? So for those boxing historians, don't poke me in the eyeball. But how that may be the greatest comeback in boxing history. Actually, let me start talking stupid, because Vinny Pazienza was in a very bad car accident, broken neck. Earl Spence, very bad car accident. Daniel Jacobs had cancer, came back to the sport of boxing. So I got, even Jose Benavidez Jr. got shot in the leg, came back to the sport of boxing. So I don't want to, I'll just say this. It'll be one of the greatest comebacks, okay? I'll just say that. Because for Wilder to go through what he went through with those Tyson Fury fights, to end up splitting with his trainer, bringing on Malik Scott, going through depression, losing to Parker, getting destroyed by Zhang, having his personal stuff put out there. The man just been through a lot. But for him to be able to recognize where things were going wrong, personally, professionally, if he can somehow bring it all back together and clip Chisora and somehow get a big win over Usyk, I am telling you, the history books are going to say that this guy Deontay Wilder did something that just, to this day, still going to have them scratching their heads like, how the hell did he do that? But nonetheless, it's not about Deontay Wilder. It's really about trying to understand what we have here with Arslanbek Makhmudov and Tyson Fury. Now, Tyson Fury, what's left in the tank? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know. He's no longer the same man who outboxed Klitschko in Germany or embarrassed Deontay Wilder in the second fight with raw confidence and physical dominance, even though I have an opinion about that fight. Fury today is a fighter who's been through multiple wars, man, physically and mentally. I think a lot of us, I'm 50. I'm telling you, I've been through things physically and mentally. It's not easy to recover from that. But the trilogy with Deontay Wilder alone took years off of Tyson Fury's career. Those fights, they weren't just boxing matches. They were violent, exhausting, emotionally draining heavyweight collisions. Against Wilder, Fury absorbed clean, concussive right hands that would have permanently altered lesser fighters. He was down, staggered, he was tested, and forced to rely on his recovery instincts and durability. Now, while Fury proved his greatness by surviving and winning, each of those moments extracts a cost. It takes something out of you. See, heavyweights don't pay that price immediately. They pay it later in slow reactions, reduced punch resistance, lapses in focus, and sometimes inability to pull the trigger. Then came Oleksandr Usyk, a completely different kind of challenge and boxing species. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they were feeding that boy growing up. Anyway, Usyk didn't test Fury with power. He tested him with pace, tested him with angles, pressure, mental fatigue. He made Tyson Fury fight when Tyson Fury didn't want to fight. Usyk forced Fury to think every second of every round. He took away Fury's ability to rest. He exposed moments where Fury's legs looked heavier, where his timing wasn't as sharp, and where he had to dig deep just to stay competitive. So in my opinion, right, the key question entering, the fight looks like it's going to happen, but for now I'm going to say a hypothetical Fury versus Arslanbek Makhmudov fight isn't whether Fury is skilled, because we all know Tyson Fury's skilled, but it's whether the accumulated damage from Wilder and Usyk has eroded his margin for error. Those first 4 rounds are going to be critical. But I just have a feeling Fury's going to get the victory, but you just don't know. You just don't know. If you make a mistake, can Makhmudov make him pay? And the reason I say that is because Makhmudov has an opportunity of a lifetime. A fight against Tyson Fury would represent the biggest opportunity of his career and possibly his only shot at heavyweight immortality. Makhmudov isn't entering this scenario as a polished, cerebral boxer. He's entering as a physical threat. And in heavyweight boxing, that still matters. What makes Makhmudov dangerous is not subtly. Let me tell you something here. It's his size, reach, raw strength, and fight-ending power. It's not subtlety. He's a naturally large heavyweight who doesn't need to land often to be effective. One clean shot can change the entire trajectory of a fight. Against a fighter who had absorbed countless heavy blows over the years, that threat becomes magnified. I don't know if y'all saw when Makhmudov fought. He fought, what's his name, man? Ajit Cabello. Everybody thought Makhmudov was going to get, well, most people thought Makhmudov was going to get in there and destroy him. That's not what happened. That's because he was a naturally large heavyweight who didn't need to land often to be effective. But you saw how ineffective he was against a guy like Ajit Cabello. He has gone back to the drawing board. He has improved. Although many people aren't giving him that much of a chance against Fury, you still know that a guy like Makhmudov, one clean shot can change the entire trajectory of a fight. And against a fighter who's absorbed countless heavy blows over the years, like Tyson Fury, that threat becomes magnified. So Makhmudov's boxing IQ, there's no comparison between Makhmudov and Tyson Fury. Makhmudov's IQ is the equivalent of like shrimp chips. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't read feints the way Usyk does. He doesn't control distance like Fury at his best. But where he lacks refinement, he may compensate with grit, durability, belief. Fighters in his position often fight with nothing to lose. And that mentality can make them dangerous in the early rounds. That's why I keep saying them. First 4 rounds, we're going to see. But after that, you got to deal with the danger of Tyson Fury. But the danger for Fury is not that Makhmudov outboxes him. The danger is that Makhmudov forces chaos, awkward exchanges, clinch breaks, wild moments where experience matters less than just trying to survive. So, how Fury would have to lose? I think for Makhmudov to defeat Fury, Fury would have to drop the ball repeatedly. Like, Fury would just have to be making mistake after mistake after mistake and giving this guy Makhmudov repeated opportunities. This isn't a scenario where one mistake cost Fury the fight. Not at all. I think it would take countless lapses. I mean, poor distance management, lazy clinching, slow reactions, and underestimation of Makhmudov's power. He basically had to come in like he did with Francis Ngannou. And when I say out of shape, extremely out of shape. But I think what you're going to see is Fury staying in range and being smart. But if he stays too long, he gets punished. I think Tyson Fury is going to be responsible, but if he gets reckless offensively, he's going to get punished. And I don't think Tyson Fury is going to be there to be hit. But if he allows himself to be hit cleanly early, he's going to be in trouble. I think Tyson Fury is going to fight smart. But if for some reason he's in front, I think they're going to fight in the UK. But if he's going to fight in front of the hometown crowd, he can't allow himself to get emotional. He needs to stay tactical until he has full control of the fight. Then he can start doing the things that Tyson Fury does, hands behind the back, playing to the crowd, sticking his chin out. But he can't do that to a guy like Makhmudov, who has his confidence and who's fresh. You just never know when the stars are going to line up and somebody gets clipped. So in other words, Fury would have to fight below his intelligence level. All right, that's the bottom line. Something elite fighters sometimes do late in their careers when confidence borders on complacency. If Fury fights a disciplined fight, though, to prove a point, basically like Makhmudov doesn't belong in there, and he's trying to set up that fight with AJ, you're going to see Tyson Fury getting there using his jab, his spectacular movement, clinch control, and ring IQ. And if he fights that way, Makhmudov should struggle to land consistently. But if Fury believes he can simply walk through Makhmudov, that's when heavyweight boxing reminds everyone that size and power never stop being relevant. Now, there's some damage that you don't see. See, we on the outside, we just watch these fighters, and all of a sudden we see somebody get hit and go down who doesn't normally go down. Sometimes it doesn't really register, right? But Fury versus Wilder. Talk about the damage you don't see. The Wilder trilogy wasn't just physical damage, and make sure y'all like and subscribe, become a member to the channel, right? The Wilder trilogy wasn't just physical damage. It was neurological fatigue. Fury had to remain alert at all times because Wilder only needed one shot, And we all knew that, and even to this day, people still believe Wilder has the ability to get you out of it with one shot. And I think that constant tension drains fighters. Even winning those fights didn't erase the toll they took, but it took something out of Tyson Fury. His chin still seems pretty good, but it's no longer invincible. His ability to recover is still elite, but recovery slows with age, so you don't know what's going to happen if he gets hit by Makhmudov. And those Wilder fights permanently changed how Fury must approach power punches. And that caution could either save him or it could slow him down. Then he went and he fought Usyk. And I think for Wilder fights, again, neurological fatigue, got a big power puncher, got to be locked in at all times. Then he fought Usyk, and I think now you got a guy who's not necessarily a power puncher, but it was more of a technical wake-up call. Usyk exposed something important, man. Fury is not unbeatable when he's forced to fight at a high pace with no room to rest. Tyson Fury, I'm not going to say he unravels, but he becomes vulnerable. There's only one guy who's been able to make him, respond that way, and that's Oleksandr Usyk. Usyk's success wasn't built on damage. It was built on mental and physical exhaustion. And that matters because Makhmudov doesn't need to be smarter than Usyk. It's impossible. How do you say in Spanish, imposible? That shit's imposible. He just needs Fury to be slower than before. Fury versus AJ is still the fight to make. And that's why I really believe Fury's going to fight discipline and do what he has to do, especially early in the fight, to not get caught up in the slugfest and to not allow a guy like Makhmudov any chances to somehow land a shot from the gods. So regardless of what happens next, Tyson Fury and AJ, that's the biggest fight in British boxing history, in my opinion. Are they both beyond their primes? Yeah. We got to be real. It's kind of unfortunate but it's boxing. It is what it is at this point in time. Wilder should have fought AJ. Tyson Fury fought Wilder. Tyson Fury and AJ should have fought. That three-headed monster man should have been mixing it up. But as of now, if Joshua continues boxing, it's not even about belts anymore. It's about legacies, narratives, and unanswered questions. Joshua brings structure, he brings power, discipline, marketability. Fury brings unpredictability, size, psychological warfare. Even diminished versions of both fighters will still command global attention. And that's what's so interesting. These cats been doing this so long. You got this fresh batch of heavyweights. They're making noise, but still, the talk is still centering around Wilder, AJ, and Fury. And you could throw Usyk in there. But really, it's Wilder, AJ, Fury, and Usyk. Absolutely crazy, man. So I don't even think they care about who's better. I think it's just about who can impose their will at this stage in their careers. And I'm going to tell you again, I think the one person that has the opportunity to really, really steal the show this year is Deontay Wilder. You're talking about a comeback story. I got to ask you, is it even possible? But if Wilder gets past Derek Chisora, a fight that's going to test him, his durability, his resolve, it's not going to be easy, then suddenly the story changes. Wilder still possesses the most dangerous right hand in boxing history. Power ages last. If Wilder were to shock the world and defeat Usyk after Chisora, I'm telling you, that it may be the greatest, well, I'll say this, it'll be the greatest comeback story heavyweight boxing has ever seen. So I'm going to keep it centered around heavyweight boxing. Talk about somebody being written off, mentally broken, physically battered, to rise again, to reclaim. It won't even be relevant. If Wilder gets past Chisora and fights Usyk and beats Usyk, that shit's beyond relevance. You know what I mean? He will be the man of the heavyweight division. And it'll prove that maybe he was right. He's entering his prime in his 40s because he started boxing late. And now he has all this experience. But look, It's unlikely because we're talking about Usyk. But heavyweight boxing has never been about probability. It's about, possibility. And we all know anything's possible in the heavyweight division. So, my final thoughts. Tyson Fury versus Arslanbek Makhmudov is not about skill versus skill. It's about experience versus, danger. At the end of the day, Fury is still the superior boxer by a wide margin. But the margin has narrowed. And in heavyweight boxing, even a small margin can be erased with one mistake. I just don't know if Arslanbek Makhmudov can get the job done. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans on 7 continents. Y'all in the breeze.